Welcome to the Richard Lloyd YouTube channel. I'm Richard Lloyd. Today I'm going to be making a video on one of my favorite partitioning tools called Gparted, and it is a live USB Linux distribution, and it'll run on just about any size USB thumb drive down to a 1 gig thumb drive. But prior to showing you how to do all that, I want to get a few things out of the way. Number one, I'm going to be putting links to everything on this video in the video description below. If you like this video and helps you out in some way, do me a huge favor, give it a thumbs up. Bottom corner, and also if you like my channel and my videos, do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. That's a link on the bottom right hand corner. Also a picture of me at the end of the video will be a link to the subscription portion of the video. And when you click on that, make sure to click on the bell icon. That way you'll be notified every time I put up a new video. Now the links in the video description for hardware are affiliate links. And what that means is, at no cost to you, when you click through those links and buy or purchase products, that helps my channel and it helps me. And I greatly appreciate it when you do that. So please do that, help me out. And also like, share, and subscribe. That'd be great too. Also in the comments section below the video, leave your questions, suggestions, and anything else you want to relay to me down there. I look at them regularly, and video suggestions also put down there. I made several videos, many videos, from comments put in the comment section where people said, can you do this? And I thought, yeah, that'll make a good video, and I made them. So yeah, I look at those regularly, so definitely use that portion of YouTube, the comment section, to communicate with me. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today is Gparted on a live USB thumb drive. Now, you can use as small as a 1 gig thumb drive or even smaller, because the whole thing, the whole tool is 385 to 400 megabytes depending, and it fits easily on a 1 gig thumb drive. Now, the problem with 1 gig and 4 gig, this is a 4 gig thumb drives, is that they're really slow. These are USB 2, sort of a legacy device. So I'm not going to be using that for this video. I'm going to be using my PNY 32 gig USB 3 thumb drive, which is much quicker. Also, another thing on the USB 3 thumb drive, this PNY, it has a little activity light, and I think for these kinds of applications, and actually most applications, I really prefer that the USB thumb drive have an activity light. Not all of them do, but it's a real big plus if you get one with the activity light, because then you know when it's doing something, and you know not to pull it out when the light is blinking, and you know when it's done doing something because the light stops blinking. So that's a big plus. Look for that in USB thumb drives. Okay, so we're going to boot into Windows. We're going to create this live USB, and what that means, it runs on its own operating system on the thumb drive itself, which is a big plus, because you're formatting, you're partitioning, you're resizing, you're deleting drives. And you don't want to really do that using your operating system drive, because you might delete something you don't want to delete. Now, the beauty of this is you can disconnect all the drives on your computer if you have a PC and or a desktop, and internally just disconnect them, and then boot with this thumb drive and connect the device you want to format, and then you're guaranteed that you're only dealing with this drive and the device you want to format. Now, this will format just about any format, and it will format SD cards as well as USB thumb drives and hard drives as well. So anything that stores data and can be formatted, this tool will do it. So let's boot into Windows. I'll show you how to make this tool and put it on the thumb drive, and then from there we'll go and boot it up, and I'll show you how it works. All right, here we are on my desktop, and next thing we're going to do is format the USB thumb drive. We want to start with a clean thumb drive. So open up your file browser, however you want to do that, and in my case the USB thumb drive is F. So you can see here that I've already had live Gparted version on it, but regardless, we're going to format it. Right click it and choose format, and here you're going to have quick format. Make sure there's a check mark on that. We're going to do a quick format. That's all we need, and just hit start on that, and understand this will erase everything on that drive, so make sure you're formatting the right drive. In my case, I know I am. There we go, and it's real quick. So there, it's formatted, ready to go. You can check that here by opening up your file browser and looking at it again. So go to F again, and you can see there's nothing there. And folder is empty. That's a fresh formatted USB thumb drive. If you have a problem formatting an SD card or a thumb drive, I suggest getting this application called SD Card Formatter. I'll put a link for that in the video description below. It's free, and it will format any USB or SD card that you plug into your machine, regardless of its state. So if you're having a problem formatting something for some reason, this thing will do it. And if it doesn't do it, then more than likely there's something wrong with your USB thumb drive or SD card, and maybe contact the manufacturer about that and seek further guidance there. But this thing generally formats anything. And remember, again, it's a formatter, so you're going to destroy all the data on the drive or card that you're formatting. So we're done with that. Next, we're going to go get the two pieces of software that we need to do this with, and that is the Gparted ISO file and the USB thumb drive creator. So let's open up a browser here. I'm going to close this all off to start fresh. And we're going to go to Gparted Live. So just do a Google search for Gparted Live, and that'll take you to the Gparted Live CD or gparted.org Live CD page, which is where we want to go. So click on that. You can see here all sorts of information. It's a pretty basic page, web page, but it's all it needs to be to get this job done. So number one here, I want to show you the help page. Click on the help button up here on the menu, and you can see that there's documentation, there's a frequently asked questions link, a forum, bugs, contact, features, screenshots, articles. Basically everything you need to know or want to know about this software is here. So if you have questions and stuff, or want to learn something, click on the help button. It tells you everything about this software. So back to the Live CD USB, and you can see here that there's features listed, that it's CD, USB, PXE, and HD, and that means, of course, compact disc. USB, you know what that is, Universal Serial Bus. PXE is the pre-boot execution, and that is a pre-boot network a boot. So you could do a network boot with a laptop, let's say, and run the software. And there's HD, which is hard drive installation. So again, we're going to keep this simple. I'm just doing a live USB version. So if you look down here in the menu, you can see Gparted Live on USB. So that's what we want to click on. And this gives you 4 different methods to make this. We're going with number one, the easiest one, which is downloading a piece of software called TuxBoot. So we're going to do that. And then here you can see that this takes you to the TuxBoot webpage, Windows 8 method. So we're going to do this again. Click on Download TuxBoot. It does tree out quite a bit here, so bear with me on that. So here we are. What is TuxBoot? And you can read this if you wish, but it is the software that's going to create the image on the USB thumb drive from the ISO file that we're going to download after this. So here we're going to hit download, and again, trees out again. We're going to go to Files on SourceForge, and here you see a green button which is download the latest version. Currently that is 0.8.2.exe, 5.1 megabytes, really small. Click on the green button and download it. Of course, this will change over time as they update it and make new versions. And there we go. You've got a 5-second wait here. Just wait for it. And it will pop up to save the file. And here, we're just going to click on Save File on the pop-up. And I'm going to put that on my desktop in my Gparted folder, because that's just easy and quick. And you can see that I've already downloaded it, but I'll just download it again here. Yeah, replace it. You won't have to replace it. Just download it to wherever you wish, wherever is actually convenient for you. So now we have the first part of this, the tool to make the USB Live thumb drive. Next, we're going to go and get the ISO file or the image file that software needs to create the thumb drive. So close this off, and you can see here, follow the USB setup on MS Windows instructions. You can go with that. Let's go there. And it's just basically going to tell you how to do what I already showed you how to do. So we're going to close this off here. And again, the next thing you need to do is download the live, well, they call it a zip file, but we're going to download the ISO file. Let's see what happens when we click on this one. Yeah, you get all the different options. So here we have the zip file here and all the different ISOs that you can use, latest versions here. So let me explain this. Well, they explain it here as well if you want to go through that, but the i686 ISO file is the 32-bit version of this. The AMD 64 is the 64-bit version of this, which means you need to have architecture, CPU that is a 64-bit processor in order to run it. And here under the stable directory is every version that they've put out that is stable from the past till now. So up to you which one you use. The most compatible one and most advanced one will be the top one here, the 1.1.0-5 i686. That's the 32-bit version. Now the 64 is going to be faster but less compatible. So up to you. Probably won't have problems with either one. And back to the stable directory, I'll just click on that for a second. And here you can see that they have the latest version up top and every previous version all the way down. And you can, experiment with that. If the current version doesn't work for you, go for an older one. Maybe it will work for you on an older version or a different architecture, depending on what you're using. So if you don't know which architecture you're using, just go with the i686. It will work on just about everything, okay? So we're going to click on that. And again, back to SourceForge, 5 seconds, and it pops up. Here it is. It's Gparted Live, correct version. We hit OK. Now it's 349 megabytes. So I've already downloaded it, so we don't have to go through that on this video. So here, I'm not going to download it. Just click Save at this point and and save it to wherever you're going to save it to, and then we're ready to go. So I'm going to hit Cancel here, minimize this, go to my Gparted folder here on my desktop, and you can see Tuxbook Boot is here. Let's open it up, and of course we want to open this up, so yes. And here's the folder or the application. Again, no need to install it. There it is. And it's pretty basic, but what we're going to do here is use an ISO to make this live USB thumb drive. So hit on pre-downloaded ISO. So click on the radio button there. Again, make sure that you're formatting the right, or you're doing it to the right drive, because this will overwrite whatever is on that drive. So we know with mine that it's F, but you can choose different locations like hard disk and then whatever drive you want. Here I have a bunch of options, so just make sure it's found the right place and it's going to format the right one. Again, you can see here on my list of drives that the USB drive is F. So we're cool. Open up the file browser button here, and then I'm going to use the Gparted Live 1.1.0-5 i686. And you can see that I've experimented with all the various types, but this one works great. So we'll hit OK here and hit open. There we go. And at this point, we're ready to go. We hit OK and off we go. Now, while this is happening, what I want to explain to you is next what we're going to do is reboot the computer with this thumb drive in either your laptop or your PC on one of the USB ports. And if it doesn't work on a certain port, try all the different ports on your machine. Sometimes your machine will not recognize or boot off certain USB ports and will off others. That's the case on my HP laptop. It only boots off the USB 2 thumb drive port, or it won't boot off the USB 3 for some reason. I don't know, but it works on that. So try different ports if it doesn't work on the first one. And also, when you reboot your computer, you'll see a splash screen. And on that splash screen, you usually have the option to pick which device you boot from. In my case, it's a Dell motherboard, so it's F12. And it shows that on the splash screen for the BIOS boot screen. And when you hit F12, it gives you the option to pick which drive you want to boot from. In my case, I'm going to boot off the USB thumb drive. And here the application is finished. It says, reboot now, but it doesn't give you the option to do so, which is cool because I don't really want it to reboot right now. So here we're going to hit exit and it will close the application. But back to booting off a thumb drive. On a Dell, it's an F12. On different machines, it might be F2, F5. Those are the function keys. If not, it might be the escape key. It might be some other combination of keys for you to find the boot option screen. And if you don't know how to do that for your motherboard in particular, go to the manufacturer's website and check the motherboard or the computer's documentation for that. Or give them a call or email them or something and find out what your key is to make your computer ask you at the very beginning which device you want to boot off. In my case, it's F12, and I'll show you that next. So let's just close this off. And, well, actually, I shouldn't have closed that off. Now we just open up your USB, just click on your USB thumb drive here, in my case F, and you can see Gparted Live version is on here, and it tells you it's the i686 release. So we're ready to boot off this drive. I'm going to shut this computer down and then reboot it and show you how to get how I get my computer to boot off the USB thumb drive, and then how to get Gparted to work for you and how it works once we're in it. So here we are on my boot screen. The Dell splash is up there. You can see it's a Studio XPS, and you can see the bottom right hand corner. I've got two options, F2 for setup, F12 for boot options. Again, your computer may be different, even if it's a Dell. So see if it's evident what it is on the boot screen. You can hit the pause, at least on this computer, I can hit the pause break key on my keyboard and stop it and look at it. So if it's really fast in your case, hit the pause break and key on your keyboard, and it should stop. At least it does in my case. Here I'm going to hit F12, and you can see that F12 highlighted there. And now you get all the options. Now I've disconnected the data cables, the SATA data cables, to both my internal hard drives in this PC, so that there's no way that I can format or damage the Windows partition or my storage drive in this computer that matters to me. But I've left a 3 terabyte, still internal hard drive connected to this computer. It's just something that I'm using to show you how to play with Gparted, and it's formatted FAT32 at 2 terabytes, and the rest is empty. But you'll see that when we boot into Gparted. Currently, we're up on my screen here, and you have all these options. You can scroll through them, but what we want to do in this case, what I want to do, is boot through PNY USB 3, and this says FD, which stands for floppy drive, but it's a USB thumb drive. And here we're going to hit enter, and that should give us this screen. Now I just cursing through the menu because it has a timeout, and in 30 seconds it'll just go to whatever it's highlighted to. So by default, the live default settings should work for you. Most cases it does. If it does not, then you can choose other options. Now Gparted Live default settings with KMS large font to RAM. What this means is that it will boot from your USB thumb drive, load the stuff into memory, and then at that point you can take the thumb drive out and put it in another machine and run it without the thumb drive. It runs off the RAM. Now, if you're doing if you're imaging or formatting 15 computers and you only want to use one thumb drive, this is an option. Load it to RAM, take out the thumb drive when it's done loading, put it into the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, however you want to do it. Again, if you have compatibility issues with maybe it doesn't load with your graphics card or something, go to the third option, which is other modes of Gparted Live. And here you have default settings. You've got to RAM again. Boot media can be removed later. Safe graphics settings usually gets you by any graphics issues you're having usually. And then you can go to the fail-safe mode, which is the most compatible version of it, and try that. If none of those work, well, go back to the Gparted webpage, see if you can find some sort of solution there, or try an older version. Maybe that'll work for you, a different version. So I'm going to get out of these here and just choose Gparted the live default settings, and let's see if I can go back one more. And as you can see, it says KMS mode, okay for ATI, Intel, and NVIDIA VGA cards. Well, I have an NVIDIA, so let's just click on that. Oh yeah, here we go. If you hit escape, you get back to the original screen. And the last is operating system and hard drive, if available. Well, in my case, it's not, so we're not going to click on that. There. We're choosing the Gparted live default settings. Waiting for that to boot. And you'll get several different options on the boot, so I'll show you that once it comes up. And that's the nice part of this. I can look down on my thumb drive because it has that LED blinking thing. It does show me that it's working. Here you can see that it's having some problem with some of my hardware. And I believe it's the USB, Bluetooth, whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to use this for a networking operating system. It doesn't matter. Here it's asking you a question about key maps. Generally, I don't play with this. I just go don't touch the key map as the default. And then you get the language. In my case, the default is 33, and that is US English. Perfect. That's what I want. So here we're going to hit enter again. And here you have three options. 0, continue to start. X, to use Gparted automatically. And what X is the Windows or the graphical user interface version. You can run number 1, force video to config that version manually. I'm not going to go there. Or you can go to command line. I'm just going to choose the default, which is 0, which I know works. Again, if you have problems, you know where to go. Go to the Gparted site and look around. Okay, then it says, okay, well, we're going to boot that up. And, you know, no warranty. Okay. Smart of them to say that. So here we go. And the default desktop will show up. And then after that, you'll see Gparted on the screen. Okay, I had to cut back in there. My camera quit. But we're back up. Gparted is up on the screen here, as it normally would be. You can see the other stuff that comes in the background. We're not dealing with that right now. Right now, I'm showing you Gparted. And you can see this is my 3 terabyte drive and my 32 gig USB thumb drive. Let's put another drive into the machine. I'm going to put the 4 gig thumb drive in there. Okay. And all you need to do to find it is just refresh the devices by going to Gparted here and choosing refresh devices. You can see the Cylon down here. Now you can see I got a 4 gig thumb drive in here as well. This one has Gparted on it as well, and you can see that it only uses 381 megabytes, so it's not really huge. Okay, so again, cool, really small. You can use a small thumb drive to deal with it. So let's do something. Let's resize this partition here. This is FAT32. Let's resize it. So take it. All you got to do to resize it is just slide the bar over like this. I got a lot of space there, so there we go. Resize. Boom. And now you could commit to that by hitting the check mark, and it says editing partitions, you know, has a loss of data. So make sure you back up your data before you do any of this, unless you don't care about it. Hit apply, and then you can look at the details here if you want to scout through them. Just hit the little arrows and it'll expand out. Like I said, it's a USB 2 4 gig thumb drive, probably about 5-6 years old now. Really slow, right? So close it. Everything's cool. There's no problems. If you see nothing but check marks, everything's done right. Now we've got a smaller partition and a lot of empty space. So let's create a new, well, let's work on a faster drive. Let's go over here to the 3 terabyte drive that we had with FAT32. Now we could move it as well, but you already know how to do that. So just go here, resize, and you put it wherever you want and then create another partition somewhere else. I'm not going to do that because on a 3 terabyte drive, that takes a long time. So there it is. You may want to format it to something else. So let's do, let's go to format, the partitions here. Let's just delete it. Delete it. There we go. And oops. So yes, you can go backwards. Nothing changes until you actually hit the check mark over here. So I'm going to do this. And then now it's set to be deleted, so hit apply operations. At this point, it warns you again because you will be wiping out all the data on that drive. There it is. So I wanted to show you how to partition it. So now we've got nothing on that drive, it's empty. So you go here to partition, you say new, choose the type that you want. You could say FAT32. Let's go with NTFS. There we go. And at this point, just click add. Or if you want to shrink it down or make it bigger, you can as well by moving it here, right? It says right here the size, which is probably the whole drive. So let's just shrink it down a little bit. Let's take it down to there so we can do something else. And click add. There you go. Now you could make another partition over here if you wish. So new, and let's make it ext4. That's a Linux native partition. Add. There we go. And voila, you've got 2 new partitions on your drive. And you know, you can't move them if there's no place to move it, right? So the first partition takes up all this the front part of the drive. Second partition takes the second part of the drive. So again, it makes sense. And nothing has actually happened right now because I haven't hit the check mark yet. So, but let's do that. There we go. And it goes through the process again, showing you all the details down here. And you can save the report afterwards if you wish. And so that's formatting, that's partitioning, and after this we'll erase it and go from there. Okay, so you see that it has check marks on all of them. You can tree it out and see how it all went, but you don't need to. It's basically check marks that says it's good. Another thing you can do here that's really cool is you can check the partitions too. So you can go to the partition here. So notice that I highlight the partition. You got to highlight the partition you're working on first, and then you know, you can format it to whatever you want. Look at all the different formats you could use. I mean, it's insane, right? But what we're looking for here is, I wanted to show you here, is the check. So you can even name the partition if you want, label the file system, or change it, give it a new UUID if you know what that is. Anyway, so let's go check it. And then again, always the check mark to complete the operation. It always warns you about data. And then it goes through it. Really fast because there's nothing wrong with it. But if you had something you couldn't fix inside Windows for some reason, maybe this will help you out to fix the partition, because it does have the ability to check it and fix it. You could do the same on the ext4 partition as well. Format it to whatever you want. You can check it. We'll do a quick check here. There we go. It's checking it. And this might take a long time, it says, but we'll see. Pretty fast, 8 seconds. And you got a check mark here. You can expand it out and look through it if you wish, or save the details. Close it off. Okay, and let's see. Let's go to this one here. Now, let's do a format to cleared. Let's see what happens when that happens. I suspect it's going to erase everything. So, editing partitions, blah, 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 always tells you the same thing. Done. So, format to cleared as cleared. So, here's what it does. It actually clears the old system's signatures from the drive, right? Basically, makes it brand new, factory set. So there you go. You can actually erase and clear it down to, you know, this level. And it does write zeros here, as you can see, to, you know, when it writes zeros over these areas, it erases those areas. So close it off. Done. And again, same procedures again. You know, back. Nothing new here. Format it. Whatever. You know, you can take it and say, okay, let's see if we can stretch it out, even in the cleared state. It may not. No, it won't let me do it. Let me move it, but it won't let me stretch it. So at this point, all you need to do is delete it. There we go. Close it. Make a new FAT32 partition. or whatever you want. Oops, there we go. It's not letting me format it, so let's do a refresh. Maybe moving too fast for it, right? We have to create a partition. That's what I didn't do. New partition. There we go. Can't format it before there's a partition. Makes sense. Add. And there we go. Now it's a blank 32, FAT32 4 gig USB thumb drive. There we go. So that's basically the operations that are available to you. Just look through the menus. You can attempt a data rescue. It tells you all this other stuff. File system support shows you what it can handle, and as you can see, a lot. So if you want to say, what can I do with a FAT32 partition? You can say, you can create it, you can grow it, you can shrink it, you can move it, copy it, check it, label it, and change the UUID. So that's for a lot of different file types. Doesn't do everything, but it does do most things. So there we go, close. And basically, I think that's about it. This shows you your devices. Yeah. So basically a full-fledged partition tool, pretty powerful. Not the most powerful, but very powerful. It should do most things you need to get done. So that's it for Gparted. I'm just going to put that out of the way for now. I want to show you a few more things here. There's other options here. You can change the screen resolution or play with this stuff, network config as well. Again, I don't know why you'd want to. This is just partitioning a hard drive. You don't need to get on the net usually. But if you right-click the screen, you'll get the Fluxbox menu, and you can go through this, play with stuff. There's a file manager, so you could move files in here. So if you wanted to do file copies from one to another, you can. You can do a partition image. Now this here, test disk, is really cool. And MC, we'll just take a look at that. I don't even know what MC is. Oh yeah, that's another file manager. So just close that off. You can play with that. But down here under test disk. Test disk will actually test your drive to see if there's, the ability to recover. So data recovery utility. So again, I'm not going to go into that in this video. You can play with it yourself, or research that further yourself. The primary reason to be here is Gparted, but I just wanted to show you that it's there. File manager and a test disk, partition image, screenshot, and G-Smart control. Let's go to the part image. This will allow you to image a partition. Again, not going to get too far into it, just showing you it's there. And the G-Smart control is pretty neat. This will actually allow you to look at the smart functions of your drive. A lot of drives have this smart, actually most drives have smart functions, and they're running in the background all the time, checking the drive's health, making sure it's all cool, right? So in this case, let's see, let's go here. You can see that this has smart, it's enabled, and if you want, let's take a look at it quickly here. Options, there we go. And when you click on smart for the drive, it won't work for the USB thumb drives. They're not hard drives, they're just memory sticks, so there's no smart collection there. This is for hard drives. And you can see what's going on with this, right? It tells you what it is, tells you the capacity, it tells you the rotational speed, versions, everything, right? Smart supported, smart enabled, yes. These features are not available or disabled. So all that is on there. Overall self-health assessment test passed. I ran that earlier. And you can go here to self-test and run them yourself. There's a short test and there is a long test. And now I think the long test takes about 90 minutes. No, 7 hours, 10 minutes, long time. So, but it's thorough and it will tell you what's going on with it. So you can see here that I've run the short and the extended without any errors at all. So I trust that drive implicitly. It's working. It's basically got a clean bill of health, and these smart features will show you that. So that's a really nice thing to know in checking your drives. You don't want to be formatting a drive or using a drive that's become undependable. Smart will tell you whether it has or not. Again, not going to get too deep into it, just showing you that it's here and that it's available and how to run it. Okay, so here you would choose whatever you want to run and just hit execute, and it tells you what it's going to do, and then it does it. But it takes a long time. Well, the short one's really quick, but and if you have a problem with the short one, more than likely your drive is failing. But again, all sorts of neat stuff here, temperature logs, advanced, just on and on and on. So close that off, and that's it. I mean, you can go into the browser, but again, I'm not connected to the network. Got several other tools, but last but not least, right click on the screen, and part of the menu is exit, and that's important. You want to shut down correctly. So exit, and then you've got the option to shut down, log out, or reboot. Now, it's up to you what you do here. At this point, I'm done showing you what it can do. It's very, very powerful software. Be careful with it. It can, wipe out anything you want, but it can do all sorts of neat and cool things for you, like partition drives, format drives, and extend and move data around in those drives. Again, back everything up before doing anything on your drives, unless you don't care about your data, in which case you're going to wipe it out, or you can wipe it out if you wish. So that's it for Gparted, the USB Live CD creation, USB Live hard drive tool. If you like this video and it helped you out in some way, do me a huge favor and give me a like button. Click on the like button, the thumbs up button. I appreciate that. It helps my video, helps me on the YouTube algorithm, raises the searchability of this video. And also, if you like my videos in general, click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. As part of the process of that, of course, the bell. Click on the bell to be notified every time I put up a new video. Comments, suggestions, questions in the comment section below. Video description has links for this stuff, including the hardware I used in this video and other hardware. And again, those are affiliate links. You know what that is. They help my channel out. They don't cost you a cent. So do me a favor and click through and buy through those links if you need to buy anything. Do me that favor. Once again, and like always, thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay happy.